Cool.
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to the APPE TV Livestream. And we're here. We're going to be doing this regularly now. We're here with Carl, myself. Over the coming weeks, we'll have lots of different guests and we'll have more APPE team members jumping in and giving us the benefit of their wisdom. Feel free whilst you're here.
The big thing is we want to, have our members reach out, hang out, interact, have fun. There's lots of stuff on, tutorials and that we all take part in, watch. But when we hang out and get to see people in digital real life, it can be more fun. It's different when you see face to face. So that's our hope.
More fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun. So you can find us, as you probably know, on Facebook, which is where we're sort of known and seen often. You can find us now more prominently and regularly in Adobe Premiere Pro editors on FaceTube. No, on YouTube. FaceTube.
Yeah, FaceTube. And that's YouTube is APPE-TV. That's the handle now.
Okay, so we'll need to change that, but we'll get there. We'll drop all of this in the chat. And whilst you're here, as you're watching this, we've got a special guest today, and we're going to be talking about some wonderful things. I will come to that in just a moment, but some housekeeping, just so that if you're watching this and you're enjoying it, or even if you're not, like and subscribe on YouTube, just so we start building numbers. The more numbers we have, the better this is, and the more we can push and promote it. Feel free to get engaged as well, first of all, to start asking some questions. If you've got questions about anything, put a great big Q in front of your question in the chat, and we'll try and pick it up and put it to our guest and answer your question as we can. And also on Facebook, you will notice we also have a link which will allow you to jump in to this stream, and we can bring you up live if you've got questions for our guest and you want to have a live interaction with him. That would be great. Feel free to jump in at any time. And that's kind of all of the housekeeping out of the way for the moment. So without further ado, Kyle, we've got a special one today. This is
yes, we do. Who Ivan, Sir Ivan from the Knights of the Editing Table. He brings the magic of basically accelerating our workflow. One of the things that all editors need is more creative time. And so what Ivan's software does is it basically reduces logistics time to gain more creative time. And, it's just pretty awesome. And with that, we'll introduce Ivan, and he can tell us about Watchtower and Excalibur.
Yeah, whoa, there we go. Hey. Ivan, how are you, matey?
Hey, Ivan.
I'm good. Hi, guys.
It's very good to see you. So today, as Carl mentioned, we're going to be going through some stuff. You're going to be showing us off some stuff. I guess the first questions are, we've got, we're going to be looking at Excalibur and Watchtower, probably Watchtower first. Just tell us a little bit about what each of these things do. So let's start with Watchtower. What is Watchtower for? Why should people be using it?
Well, Watchtower is a first tool actually I made, and I just wanted to make it for myself initially. It's made just to sync operation system folders with a Premiere Pro. So whatever you have in your Finder or Explorer in Windows will be brought in Premiere Pro and automatically. So that's the whole premise, to be honest, of our Watchtower. And there are some little tricks there, little details that I added just to make the whole process smooth, I guess.
So
sorry, Andrew, it's not gonna, if I may, thank you. Ivan, Watchtower and Excalibur, the two that we're talking about today, there are going to be, editors who have used it. There are editors who have no idea what it is, who haven't installed it yet. And then, ultimately it comes down to the use case scenario where Watchtower is really about syncing folders, right? So that if you're, bringing in camera assets, and you're on a speedy timeline, those assets in that folder automatically populate your Premiere project, right?
Exactly.
Right. And so that's the value of Watchtower. Now in Excalibur, what makes that? Why would anybody need Excalibur?
Well, Excalibur is it's a big tool, but at the same time, it just fixes or automates a lot of little things inside Premiere Pro. So initially it was just for applying effects in my head. Just, you select a clip and timeline, pop up a search bar and apply effect without going through this effects menu, looking there, dragging on the clip. So it was just initial concept, but then I just decided to add whatever I found on Adobe User Voice. It was User Voice before, all these requests from users, and just try to implement as much as possible. Like fill frame, which is now available in Premiere Pro. Like
so you're always a step ahead. You're always a step ahead on what before the programmers can get into it.
I'm a small ship, right? So it's easier for me to move faster a little bit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of things actually already that now in latest versions of Premiere Pro, so it's pretty cool. But still, Excalibur offers you these commands that just solve specific issues, which I will just let you know later. But also, what is fun about it, it allows you to chain commands together, like a macros or some whatever you actually want to do, right? And I mean, of course, there are limitations. You cannot do everything, but up to your imagination, what do you want to achieve? You can try to achieve it with Excalibur and your commands you can create yourself.
We were
so
talking about
you could take it with Adobe's Premiere's shortcuts. Basically, you could chain a bunch of shortcuts together. So if you find that you're spending a lot of logistics time doing the same actions over and over, that's where Excalibur helps
this
out,
is
right?
one of it, because this, anyone can say this can be done also with other tools like Keyboard Maestro or Hotkey, but also Excalibur gives you access to that so-called API engine. So a scripting thing that Adobe provides us developers to use to create some custom commands. And so you can chain, as you said, keyboard shortcut presses, but also some specific commands just made inside Excalibur with a special arguments parameters. Let's say simply you can move playhead, for example, to mark 1000 frame, just as it is by saying to Excalibur, do this, right? Or you can say, simple one, duplicate the sequence I'm working currently in and increment the number and move the original sequence in the archive folder, so I don't continue to work inside the previous sequence, which will
we've all done that. Tried to find the edits from our previous sequence while we're
exactly, and just
so
some little things like that.
I have a question for you, or rather, I've
Yes.
a, sort of an observation, Ivan. I think a lot of people will be hearing a lot of techie stuff here at the moment.
Yeah,
and I think for an awful lot of editors, they're really just interested in make my life simpler. How does this make my life simpler? And I think my experience of it, and we were talking about this before the show began, is that in Premiere, there are a huge number of menus and sub-menus that you have to go through to get to certain functions. And all the time you spent searching for these different things, you try and find the effects window, or you try to find preferences, or you're trying to find all these different things, nudging. All of that takes time. What I think I love most about Excalibur, where it's made my workflow so much better, is the fact that it's a single, homogeneous, really simple, menu-driven interface. It's an interface where you can call it up on a shortcut, and pretty much anything you can do in Premiere, you can do in this one window, but it means I don't have to search around. That's the first thing. I have access to everything just about that I can do in Premiere within that, plus a whole heap of other commands that Premiere doesn't have. Yeah. And especially when it comes to things like selecting a number of clips on screen and then saying, export all of these as a 422, or apply a color something to them, or warp stabilize just these things. I can select them I can select all those clips on screen and then click on Excalibur and carry out whatever action I want, and then I can also obviously build up all sorts of macros. That's fantastic with Excalibur. That's saved me a lot of time and let me stay in the zone, as it were. Was that your intention?
Yes, that's actually an important part of I don't know. Yeah, intention was just to automate some simple stuff, and then I guess when I got into developing it, it's just one thing after another, and I just love specific approach. I just don't want to, as you said, I want to stay on the timeline. I don't want to go away from it, and just switch my mind. This is really, it stops me from continuing the work. And yeah, I guess it's the whole thing like that.
Okay, so we've just covered, we've sort of talked in brief about an overview of Excalibur. Should we do the same thing with Watchtower? Because I think it would be good to see what Watchtower does as well, because it's a really powerful tool as well in its own right, in that it allows you, a lot of people have asked for better file handling within Premiere Pro, and this allows you to set up folders, bring the content across into Premiere projects, and then as you make changes within those projects, that syncs straight back to the folders you already have. That's just one of the things it does, but essentially Watchtower keeps your projects in sync and makes data handling easier. And
so is it bilateral,
Excalibur,
by the way? Sorry,
is
it bilateral? So what are you doing? Premiere echoes on your server on the system side?
This is important that whenever I say sync, people always say, is it true sync, both ways? No, it's only one-way sync, and there's a very simple reason for that, to be honest. I don't want to mess up anything in the operation system for users. I don't want to delete, the media they use.
Right,
because if this will happen, I mean, this will be really disaster. So it's at least you can mess up the project, but not the original data.
Right.
Okay. So,
and it works with productions too, right? Like it's not just project; it's with production. So that's a key thing.
With productions, actually, I will talk about later, but basically, production is just a word for multiple projects. That's all. Yeah. But when you work with projects within production, it's still you're working with a project. And this way, Watchtower or Excalibur, they work the same because they just treat it as a project. So it's will be really easy to.
We're talking a lot about something which is actually the reason it works so well is because it's very visually driven and it works within Premiere Pro. So I think it would be really good to start having a look at some of these things. Could you have you got something you'd like to share with us with regards to?
Do you want to play that intro video on Watchtower that we have there, buddy?
the intro video I've got is for Excalibur.
Excalibur. Okay.
Yeah. The Watchtower one is a full demo, 7.5 minutes.
Yeah,
I think we'll get a better result from Ivan.
Roger that. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So, Ivan, would you like to bring something up and show us exactly what it is that Watchtower does? Let's have a look at comments whilst we're doing that.
Yeah. Share the screen. So just let me know, guys, if you see the screen. I can close this project. And this will be Watchtower. So I will just open this project, empty one, and I will.
Do you want me to let me bring this up on stage?
I just did there, buddy. We keep pressing the same button.
So what are we seeing here?
I wonder if we can get it brighter
right now,
and bigger.
I just opened this empty project, and I can't really see. Yeah. Sorry, I can't really see what's going on here. Can we? Is there any way to turn off nights?
I'll take it full screen. Let me do this.
Yeah, it's the darkness of it. I think maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
works. I guess I don't see the. What do you see, guys? Okay, so I'll just make the icons bigger for beings inside Premiere Pro. So what I have right now is just this. Project, right? Empty project, nothing there. It's a project panel, empty. Usually, what you can do when you import files, you can do like this, right? You have this start folder. You see that this nested subfolder structure, and I just can drag and drop it here, and Premiere Pro now does it really good. It just shows everything correctly, right? The whole structure matches. However, what will happen if I will duplicate a file here, right? I mean, I will duplicate, but it's basically mimicking that new file appears here. So it's in operation system in Finder, but it's not inside the project. And so to bring it, after I have the whole folder structure inside already, I need to manually bring it here, right? And then find the subfolder, bring it there. And it was easy for me to do it now because it's I'm in process of importing media. But what if I'm working in on a timeline right now, and the new files come in, and I need like stop, go to the system operation, to the Finder, find the file, bring it in, unfold every single bin, find it, put it there.
Yeah, it's a pain in the
just
butt.
to
Yeah.
make it now.
So how do you fix that? Andrew, I think you're muted.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Docked. You do the same, but you just drop this folder here. This is how you add the files. You just drop, drag and drop on the panel.
Hold up. Just go back a second.
This folder manager
get rid of
that
that.
will appear instead of in front of you. You will see this folder structure. This is actually something that is not yet implemented in an official release. This is like a new update. I finally made this tree view, which is more convenient to work with inside the folder manager. It's just for the users who might use Watchtower and might be surprised. Say, hey, this is different. So yeah, you have these paths, everything already saying like this start bin will be linked to this path. All right, everything here. Some settings like
Ivan,
etc. Yeah,
Ivan. So basically, the quick version of what you're explaining is that the first version you did it the traditional way, where you bring it into Premiere.
Yes, exactly.
And your manual has to do it. The quick version of this is that Watchtower has its own panel within Premiere. And instead of bringing it into a project, you bring it into the Watchtower panel so that it can actually track what you're doing.
Exactly, because Watchtower needs create metadata for the bins, and then it will be just it will know what's happening. Because important part, let me just click OK here. So everything here appears. Important part about Watchtower that it doesn't store data in any separate file. So all data is inside the project. So you can move to another machine and all data about Watchtower folders will be within the project. You will just probably need to relink them if the folders are offline, that's all. But let me get back here. Yeah, sorry.
So no, carry on. So now you're going to do a copy of this again, just so we can see what happens.
Yeah, and if I duplicate, files here already. We've got
it automatically does it. Oh,
yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's, to be honest, the whole premise of Watchtower. I mean, you can disable it with this little eye off.
Just to clarify, Ivan, so it's not just for duplicated files; it's for any new files you bring into a folder that's already existing. It will pick it up. And the Watchtower window, the panel that you've got open, that lives inside the extensions. So can you show us the extensions in Premiere Pro where we would find that?
Yeah, you go to the window, then you find extensions, and here you find whichever extension you have installed. So Watchtower will be here. Cool. And this is the panel. Also, interesting part. I mean, if you don't want this, I mean, this panel is really small. Like it's you can fit it anywhere. Like this way orientation. But if you don't want to have it, you can close it and it's still going to work. It's you don't need it to have open. It works in the background. It runs in the background
once you've set it up properly. But the key is to bring the assets through the Watchtower so that it knows what's going on. It has to sort of yeah, right. Cool. Cool. And now how about camera files and like spanned assets where there's a red camera has span files in multiple folders, and typically I would use the import command, and it would automatically bring in the transcript if you want the transcript started, object identification, all that stuff that happens in the import panel. How does Watchtower work with that?
So with the camera folders, usually you import them through a media browser, right? Because
one way,
when you just do regular import, let's say we go to desktop folders. I have this huge camera testing folder.
Oh yeah.
And
nice.
if I go for the red folder here, this one too, I guess, this has files and it just gives me whatever, right? So I can import the whole folder. It will try to import the whole folder, so it's not going to, and it also suspend media, so it doesn't work correctly. But media browser solves this. So if I go to the camera folders, what is it, red 2, it already shows me this file, and I can just bring it to, I guess I can copy it, no, I can't copy it. Sorry, I just need to have it separate, and then I just drag it like this. Okay, yeah. So this is how it works. But Watchtower basically allows you to do the same, and it will handle camera folders also correctly. So I just bring it here, the host folder. Just let me close this one. And what you will notice that this FLT, it means flatten subfolders. It is useful, I will show you later, for sequences, for sequence imports, or anything that is needed for you. Basically, it will ignore all subfolders. It will not create subfolder structure, but will import all media from main folder and subfolders in the main folder. So you have like a pool of files in one thing. But also, this flag is automatically attached to camera folders that could be distinguished by Watchtower. So you see iRaw, right away have this thing. For ABCGD, you go for this folder also, etc. And if I click OK, I guess it takes some time. Let me wait. So Watchtower will process every folder and will be careful really with spanned media. So for example, this is ARI or ARI. This is folder structure of ARI, right? If you know, it goes with the sequence images like this. I have WAV file, XML, which we don't need. So if I open this one, I just have this one already assembled sequence, I guess, right? And this WAV file. For red cameras, again, this one will be here. I have this one file and no spanned media here. Spanned, I mean, for red camera, you need only import this one, 001 number, because it just breaks in chunks of 4 GB each file. So this is how it works. I guess whatever I have interesting here. Some bulls, people.
What do you think, Andrew? It's pretty quick, eh? Pretty easy.
That's astonishingly fast. And so what you're saying is bringing it in through Watchtower, it deals with all of the issues around spanned clips, around all the metadata that's also contained, just brings it in and displays it as it should really fast. I mean, that's a huge amount of data you just brought in.
Exactly.
Right, and
like, for example, this XF camera, right? Look at this folder structure, how to bring it. Like manually, a MIDI browser will help you with that, but with Watchtower, just correctly, you have this one file, because everything else here, I guess, spanned, 2 GB, 3 GB,
wow.
Spanned media, that's all. And well, one thing, if any user will encounter, just reminder for users, if you will encounter any issue with a camera folder, just let me know, and I will add support for this camera, because I'm just adding support now based on requests, because I can't have access to all cameras in the world.
I think one of the things which often comes up in our group, and certainly both Kyle and I have experienced this, is different cameras and different technologies, different whatevers. You have to treat spanning differently depending on which camera it is, and you're having to import different ways and structure folders in a particular way to make it all work within Premiere Pro. What I'm seeing here is you can just, once you've got the Watchtower panel open, you can just drag and drop that whole thing and it will just sort it all out, place it into your project, and it's there available for you to use straight away.
Exactly. So my whole approach with Watchtower, as you can see, I'm a big fan of drag and dropping. My whole approach is that you don't need to, I'm trying to make you not think about this process, because it's really could be automated, in my opinion. And that's what I try to do with Watchtower. Like, you can, of course, adjust some settings, but mostly it should be automatic and just work for you.
And I think that's the thing with this kind of work, where as an editor, and I love the interface, by the way, I think it's just so simple. As an editor, anything which gets in the way of your, between your thinking about something creatively and seeing it happen on screen, anything which gets in the way, which is essentially a lot of menu subdiving and having to think, hang on, does this camera do things differently? Which import method how do I structure the folder? all of that is time away, getting you out of the flow state. And as an editor, what you really want to be in is the flow state. You just want to say, bring the content over. There it is. Let's drop it into the timeline and get on with our lives. This does that. It really shaves a whole bunch of time and just makes achieving the flow state that much better. What do you think, Kyle?
Well, I was just thinking, like, honestly, when I first heard of Watchtower and Excalibur and that, because I'm a nerd and I love, like, I used to play Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. I mean, for me, it was like I loved the brand, and I'm a geek. Yeah, it's true. I'm not cool. I just love that stuff. And Conan the Barbarian, all that stuff. This brings me back to that amazing excitement of magic and swords and stuff like that. So, why Watchtower? Why Excalibur? Why have you taken my imagination into another realm, another dimension with editing? Like, I mean, I love it, man. I love it. So tell me, how did that happen?
Yeah, how did you come to? And I've got to say also, just to follow up on what Carl just said, which is, I come from a very techie background, but my entire tech career has been spent hiding the technology from the end user. That's been my entire goal.
Yeah.
Whereas I've been doing product development, it's hiding the tech, because if it's visible, then the end user is having to do things that they're not necessarily comfortable with. So I applaud you for doing this. What was it that made you, as Kyle said, what was it that made you decide to start working with this? Why did you come up with Watchtower specifically?
Well, I was working as an editor. Like, honestly, now I don't work as an editor almost at all, only for my side projects or something, but because of full-time developer. But when I was working as an editor, a lot of times I was thinking about this frustration I was getting when, to bring one file. Like, even in any project, I could have all assets in the beginning, and then I just have one file to bring in, title card or whatever. And I would be so frustrated just to bring it in, just one file, inside during the course of the whole project. Yeah. So I was thinking about this idea. It would be nicer to have it automatically appear in my Premiere Pro project. And I was thinking that, it was funny. I was thinking that Adobe will do this at some point, and I didn't even file any user voice request or like forum request for that. I was just waiting. And I think 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years passed. And then I was reading about these A scripts, the scripts for After Effects, because previously I was doing motion graphics in After Effects. So I was aware of scripting capabilities. And I was thinking it would be nice to have something like that in Premiere Pro. Maybe I can just look into it. Maybe they have the same system API for Premiere Pro. And yeah, I did find it and just talked to my family, said, hey, what do you think if I will just put a year or like year and a half in it, because I didn't know how to code. So it took me 1 year and a half to develop Watchtower just because I was learning how to do this and learning by trying and making mistakes.
That's cool. And I think what's really cool is, as being an editor, coming at this from being an editor first, means you understood the pain points that editors have. So you weren't just writing some code and saying, well, maybe that'll do something for editors. You actually knew what the pain points were. And I know that a lot of the Adobe folk love your tools. And I've seen a lot of both big production houses who like the simplicity of being able to manage data in this way, and also really small, mom and pop single vendors who use Watchtower as well in this way. They love it because it makes their life simple. It just speeds everything up and makes everything predictable as well. What do you think about predictability in amongst all of this, Carl? Do you think that's a big thing?
Predictability. If I'm reading your mail correctly, for me, I've shied away from automated systems because I don't often trust them. So it's been something that I really, it's not that I've been bitten maybe a couple of times I've been bitten by an automation that has corrupted stuff, but I've always had backups in place so I can experiment, freely without fear. But the main thing is that what I see with Watchtower is, as long as it's set up properly, it works really well. And as long as and it's not gonna, you can't mess up do something in Premiere that's going to mess up your assets on the system side. And so predictability, it seems that its reliability, is there.
I think that whole thing of doing a project of data wrangling for a lot of editors, and especially in cost-constrained times where you don't necessarily have budgets for AEs or whatever, just managing the start of the project and then the ongoing data wrangling as new versions of audio or new animations or new whatever's come in, having that and knowing that that's just going to be getting populated, assuming you've done your work on folder structure correctly at the beginning, because there's another thing. But my experience of Watchtower is it does that really well. It takes away a lot of pain at the beginning of the project and throughout as you're managing all this data. It's pushing it. All the files are ending up in the right place in Premiere Pro, ready for you to use. And I love the fact it reports that as well.
So what I have a question though. So there was the import command. So I used to use Media Browser exclusively, and then I've found that Media Browser was slow sometimes populating folders, connecting assets, and I'm waiting for Media Browser to basically display what I know is there. And also at one point I imported red files through Media Browser, and they came in subfolders. This is not with Watchtower. This is like just, and it basically, instead of bringing in it as a stitched span folders that are stitched together as one, it was bringing in all of the pieces. And I was like, and so then I said, okay, I'm going to try the import panel. And the import panel that brings, where it brings in assets and automatically does the transcription and all that stuff. I'd asked this, and we didn't quite get that the answer on that. I'd love to know, how does Watchtower work if you're using the import panel? Is it the same thing? So, yeah.
So
Ivan has to say about that.
Tell us.
So for transcription, honestly,
shall I bring up the screen again or not?
Oh, it's yeah. You can just bring the screen. So the thing is, with the Premiere Pro, at least from my experience, I might be corrected by Adobe employee or someone, but that's a fun part about Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro really built nicely, in my opinion, in terms of that import process is separated from those transcription modules. So when you import stuff, it will be automatically processed here in the thing.
But if you click on the import, like you're on the edit panel, next to the house there, import. So what I've found is that import has been pretty successful, or when you go to import assets at the beginning of a job, it actually has been really successful in automating a lot of stuff. I've been grateful for it. Now, have you worked? Does Watchtower work with the automatic import settings, or is it better to go? So don't do it automatically import. May I? So is it better to go through the edit panel, set up the job, and then bring it into the Watchtower folder, because that's what Watchtower needs in order to allocate where everything is? Or does the automated import workflow with Watchtower?
Can I ask you a question first, Carl, just to get clarity on this? So what bits of this aren't you seeing in Watchtower? So using import, what does import do that Watchtower's not?
If you set up a job and it says, okay, you want to bring in assets, that import function folder, which version of Premiere are you using, by the way?
I will be like this one, user, the latest one.
Okay.
Give me a second. This is 25.3. 25, yeah.
So can you just start a new job, for example, like this file, you know? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
There's the
here,
import settings right there. There it is on the right side. So all that stuff where it says create new sequence, automate transcription, enable language detection. That's specifically what I'm asking about. So
yeah, I see.
Yeah. Because I found that this is actually a really great time saver. I'm not going to copy media. I do love creating a new sequence as I bring a folder of assets in. That's really cool. And it does, basically it does, you can tell it whether or not to transcribe assets.
So the question is then, how much of the import settings does Watchtower deliver?
Let's take a look, because, for example, right now, I never thought of this, but right before that, I imported camera folder, and I saw that media intelligence analysis did the job, right, with the whole thing, with everything. And now I see that it was checked in, right, checked on. So let's try. I will check it off now. Try automatic transcription on. Just keep it on here. And now I removed. Come back here. I removed the camera folder. And let's just bring it once again.
Ivan, I have a quick question for you. You're on dark mode, right?
Yeah.
It might be easier to be on bright mode instead of it might be able, instead of being black on white on black, maybe if you go black on white, it might be easier to see.
Let's see. So I have
this. Try it. Yeah, it's easier to read for sure. Andrew, would you agree?
I'm fine with it, but if it helps you to see, if it helps your aging eyes to see, Kyle,
yeah, well, there is that. There is that.
Well, just let me know if it's better this way.
It's easy.
Or grayish. What is it? Appearance, the dark one. That's maybe too milky, right?
That's good.
Actually, I can make them more contrasty. There's this toggle accessible color contrast.
Yeah.
Is it good like this?
Yeah, sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
So back to the question, which is, you're now going to import another camera, and your settings have changed. So you've added in the import panel, you've set it up so it will automatically do transcription. So as you add the file, you add the folder to Watchtower,
with media intelligence as well.
So I don't see any transcription now here, but just give me once again with media analysis back, because I'm worried that maybe I had this data was already processed, and some file was saved, and just check once again. I cleared up here, but yeah, I can see that at least for media analysis. Come on, come back.
So it looks like Watchtower is using the import settings to guide what's going on.
It's supposed to, because what I tried to say before, that when you import media, you use when Watchtower imports media, it uses API. So API, I mean those scripting methods allowed for us developers to create tools, and it will basically obey whatever settings are there. So, for example, if you have ingest workflows, right, transcode or create proxies, this will be done with imported media, media imported by Watchtower as well.
Right, so because it's basically the native code, the native workflow code, code for the workflow of the import. So it's not an external extension. It's basically it'll utilize what's actually there, which is great. The API.
So Watchtower will bring the assets over in a structured way, as we've seen, and then Premiere Pro, the code in Premiere Pro, Media Manager or whatever in Premiere Pro,
import settings.
It will actually, the import settings will actually then action whatever lands in the project and do what it has to do with transcoding and proxies and whatever else, as depending on what your settings are.
Best practices would be, I would think, having the Watchtower panel open and the import settings panel open, so that you would be able to choose what not to do and what to do.
Well, the thing is, the way Premiere Pro now works, the import and export tab are some kind of specific separate context. As you can see, whenever I click on them, Watchtower panel disappears. So it's only available inside Edit tab. So you can treat import tab as a settings tab. Just go there, do something that you want to do, turn on, off, whatever you need to create. Not sure about creating a sequence if it will work with Watchtower.
Yeah, I think you might be able to import settings in the edit panel. I don't know, maybe not.
But yeah, so you just go here, and mostly Watchtower will do the work here, the whole work that will happen to you to files. Also, I just wanted to tell one little thing about this kind of often question that users have. So let's say you have already a project that you're working with, right? And you have already folder structured, just initially imported something there, and it's already set up, and you want to start using Watchtower in the middle of the project. So because Watchtower doesn't know about bins linked to folders if there is no metadata associated with them, like here you see I open, there is nothing here, it's empty. If I will bring this link folders, right? I bring the same folder here and click OK for the create. It will create the new structure because it doesn't know that this is something it needs to account for. But you can see that files are not duplicated because Watchtower tracks files across the whole project, so it won't import duplicates. And one thing user can do, just move them manually, which is maybe okay, but imagine you have too many folders. So what you can do, if you have already, once again, I just edit manually this folder, you can do this. You can select bin inside the project and drag it over onto Watchtower panel. You will see this link icon. It means you're performing linking.
Oh, that's cool.
And you see the paths are already defined. How so? Because these files, right, that's inside of the bins, they have paths, right? So based on these paths, Watchtower assumes, like, say, okay, this seems like this kind of a folder you want to link to, and this one. If you don't like it, you can always click on it and select different one. Say, this is wrong. Watchtower, you're wrong, and just customize again. Then click OK, and that's all. It's linked, so I can just.
So you can repair a path, basically.
Yeah. And you see, I just linked it and try to add in new files, and they appear there.
And that's a whole path. That's from a folder level path. So if you've got things, often people are talking about missing assets or missing links, relinking to projects. This would be a really good way to do relinking. So automatic transcription.
On that topic, thanks. One of the things that's really interesting is that Carl Soule mentioned how Premiere is built to remember more than one path. So if you're working in a scenario, or if you're, sorry, not a network scenario, say you're working with two editors that have 2 drives, Windows, Mac, there are different paths. And they're sharing the project, but the project will remember the Mac path and the Windows path. And it's the same thing. So yeah, that was a really great tidbit of knowledge that Carl enlightened me with. And I think there might be 6 or 8 that it remembers. So I don't know. Wow. Does it? Yeah.
You can see that Matt Christensen from Adobe, the wonderful Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Good to see you here. Automatic transcription and media analysis are app level preferences. If they're on, they apply to any type of importing. So that answers that question. Thank you, Matt. That's really good of you to bring that up. And confirm that for us. So look, we've been running for a while. We've talked mostly about Watchtower. I would really love to know a little about Excalibur as well. Should we get onto that?
Let's play that video. It's a nice little video.
Okay, so I'm just going to remove this from here for the moment, and I'm just going to have a very quick look. So we've got a very quick 54-second teaser here for Excalibur. Let's just see that, and we'll get on into what Excalibur is. Back in a sec.
Behold Excalibur, the sword of power. power. Take command of your numerous effects and presets, and once for all, bring those pesky transitions to their knees. Mark rebellious. Paste them. Lock them up. Export them from your kingdom, or simply behead them. Be wise. Create your own commands. And above all, use shortcuts. What is it? Some kind of black magic? Nay, fool. It's Excalibur.
I love it. Ivan, did you do the voices? Like, did you hire pro talent? Andrew, I almost heard your voice in there.
No, this is our friend actor who just does all the voices for us, and I'm too shy, and he's really good at that. Yeah.
Does a great job. So tell us more about Excalibur. So, I mean, what we saw there was that it's a toolbox for handling large numbers of clips and doing all sorts of things from one place. Every single thing we saw on there was done by selecting, then opening up the Excalibur menu or panel, and then just typing in, searching for the commands, building it, and executing it. I mean, I have to say, that's what I find absolutely compelling about Excalibur. It's one place. I don't have to search around. And again, as we said with Watchtower, I don't have to dive into lots of different sub-menus to find stuff. It's all there, which means my creative flow is much better. And it does a load of stuff that Adobe simply doesn't. Like, for instance, selecting all those different clips and then warp stabilizing them and then placing them somewhere else and putting a label on them. So tell us more about Excalibur, because it's an extraordinary tool, and one which, by the way, Carl Soule adores. He uses it all the time. So tell us a little bit more about Excalibur.
So I guess maybe I just should show it to you, to be honest.
That'd be great.
That'll work.
There's so much to tell
bring
there.
it up? There we go. Well, that's looking pretty pixelated at the moment.
We have our panel in the background there, pal.
Open this guy.
Maybe
there we go. That's better.
Maybe go full frame on that. There you go.
This.
Sweet. Ivan, do you have any tools for zooming in where your cursor is?
I don't think so, to be honest. Shortcuts.
Okay. I'll circle back with you later. Yeah, there's a cool mouse thing that it sort of magnifies where the mouse is. I'll share it with you later. It'll be good for you.
Got it.
So,
thank you.
Give us
Thank you.
Show us your ways.
Yeah.
I think
So, just some clips from the film of ours. You hear me? No?
Yep, we can hear you. Yep, you're good.
It's good? Sorry, yeah, I just heard dropping out. So let's start with a simple premise. There's this tool for After Effects called Effects Console that a lot of After Effects users adore. Basically, you just select a layer, hit the search shortcut, the search bar appears, select, right? The easiest one. I hit enter, and it's applied to the clip, right? That's how it works.
There it is. I was trying to find out where it was. Okay.
Yeah. Then I can do, for example, the same tint, but I will use preset that is I did before, tint red. Right. So
how are you bringing that up?
Preset is also appeared. This is the same thing. Oh, I just sorry, I'm selecting the
I don't see how you accessed it.
Option space. You see.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
so
that brings up
space.
a panel.
I can move these shortcuts maybe. Yeah, it brings a panel, and then just, I don't know, maybe I should bring it here.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And it brings, a search bar. So, and you can type anything. You just can actually press down button and just go down and see all available commands, effects that you have in this extension, right, in Excalibur. So this is this simple trick. Then, for example, I will go over you on little commands. I can, for example, affect, let's say, scale, right? I can do scale, and I can modify value. I can
it's
set
pretty
value.
dark.
So will I say
Sorry,
50?
sorry,
Will be 50. I can modify. I can say.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm looking at the stream on a different computer, and it's still pretty dark to see that. Could you go into non-night mode? Like go into the bright mode, just for this, because it's the display.
Give me a second. Appearance.
Let's just try it.
Yeah, let's take a look. Excalibur.
Oh, that's ugly. Sorry, man. Let's go back to what it's ugly. It's easier to see, but it is. But let's just go back to the dark one. Sorry to bother you. It's
maybe just dark. Just give me a second. Maybe this is better. Just it's more contrast looking.
Yeah.
Is it?
Let's go with it. Let's go
good?
with it.
No.
Yeah, that's fine. I think it's just we're just having some problems seeing the panel coming up. It's not immediately obvious because it's small.
Yeah, what's the white squiggly thing that happens on the left? That shows
That's
up.
the key. That's the shortcut.
Ah, okay.
Oh, it's shortcuts, so users can understand actually when viewers logical stuff appears from nowhere.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for example, I can also affect rotations. A scale rotation. I can say, let's make a plus 90 degrees, or plus 90, and the clip is turned right like that. And I can do this on multiple clips if I want, right? So I can do this to scale now again. Set scale to 150, and all clips now became bigger, right? And I can undo this back. So this is like little things, and these commands are here, like to modify clips. Actually, I will show you little ones that I love from After Effects. So in After Effects, there's this trick when you select a layer, you put the playhead somewhere, and you say, I want to move the layer to this playhead, like in or out point. So for example, I want to move out point. Let's move a clip start, clip end to playhead. And it moves clips like that. And cool thing, it won't affect. Once again, I take this one. I'll just let's show you better. Here I select it, move clip start. And all clips stay here, but this one is moved, right? Also, I can do trim point selection in point to playhead, and it does like that, right? So extends the clip to the playhead. So little things like this, and just something that I loved in After. And then we can do, let me see something fun stuff. Like blend mode, right? You do this, for example, conform, right? From color correction. The media comes back, and you want to know that everything's correct, the tyro mapping is correct, and you want to see that's good. So what you do usually, you go to Effect Controls, then you go to Motion, Opacity, Blend Mode, and you select Difference, right?
That's the traditional way, manually.
Yeah, traditionally. You can maybe have a preset for that, just do this way. But also with Excalibur, you just go, you say Blend Mode, hit Enter, it gives you the whole list of blend modes, and you just search the one you want, Difference, done. And it can be done from multiple clips at the same time.
And so it opens up the effects controls for you, basically, as well, right?
It actually bypasses it. It just, it gives you the list, right? So you don't need to look
right,
into
but
it.
if it's scrolled down, if it's closed, it'll open it for you, right?
Yeah. I can keep it closed if I want. So once again, Difference,
right.
Blend, Difference, and it works. So if I will open, yes, it's here. And you can apply it for multiple clips.
So it did open it.
Things.
Awesome.
And
sweet.
Keep in mind that everything that I show you, everything I do through the search bar is accessible through the shortcuts. Like again, trim out points to the playhead. I did it with a shortcut. It's here. So it's working like this.
Cool.
Then we have this funny command I told you about before.
That's doing it across multiple. That's doing it across multiple clips. But I also know that you can actually put macros together where you have a series of commands. Can you show us some of that? So, a series of commands doing, maybe blend and zoom and rotate.
I think he was going to show us the duplicate and incremental thing, but first, right?
Yeah. So,
Ivan?
Okay.
We can get there. We can get there through some user command I will show you. So yeah, this is Excalibur settings. I just opened it with a shortcut, but also I can open it through the search bar as well. So here at the top, I have user commands, and I can create which I want. So like this, add user command. Let's go example. And what we're going to be, let's do warp stabilizer, right? Why not? Then we can add scale. So I apply warp stabilizer as effect. Then I can say I want it to be not set value, but I want to modify value. And let's bring it to plus 100%. So it's going to be 200% scale. And then what we can do, I think, actually, let's do, since it's warp stabilizer, and everyone loves warp stabilizer, let's do this way. I will do scale first. Sorry, it's a little bit reordering here. I will add nest clips. There's two different ways per nest. I can call the nested clip whatever I want to. So I want to be the sequence name, and let's say the day I did it, this nest. I'm sorry, just running through this because so much to tell, but you can use some wildcards, so there will be dynamic names for the items used, right? So this is something like that. And here I would nest clips, scale, warp stabilizer, and then just also for fun, let's do label. And I will label it some color, how it works. So here's the size, right, of the guy. I select the clip. I do example command, which I just created.
Getting some, we're losing, you're dropping a bit of audio there a little bit. I just heard that. Could you say that again?
Yep. So I just run this example command. Have you seen it? I can just try once again. If you skipped it, let me just do once again. So I selected a clip, open Excalibur, and trigger this example command from user commands. And what I did, all these steps that I made in, then nested it. And actually, when you nest with Excalibur, it will create this bin called nested clips and move there. So it's good for organization. You don't have sequences spanning in a project panel.
I have to always do that manually. I have nested. I have a folder of nested sequences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and Excalibur does it for you. So again, those little things.
Can you do that across multiple clips? Can you show us that working across 2 or 3 clips?
Yes, but in this case, let's modify the command because nest will right here. I can select them all and do this. Actually, just give me 1 second. I will to make it more understandable.
While you're doing that, Andrew, I've noticed that
do this wait command.
Is there any way to increase the resolution on the picture?
No.
Okay.
Other than by changing the original screen size, I'm assuming you're running your screen at 4K.
What I would do right now, I will just. You talking about me right now?
Yeah, Ivan, the resolution of your display is pretty pixely. I've checked on the stream, and yeah,
it's looking good here, Kyle.
On YouTube, it isn't.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, if there's a resolution increase, it'd be great. But
I can try to, I don't know, scale it down through the settings, or not sure if it's going to help.
Let's just, I mean, at the moment,
display.
let's just see this. So it would be good to see, you do multiple clips.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so first of all, this one, when I use nest command, will nest whatever I have selected all together, right?
Yeah.
So, and I also added wait command between each step, so we can see it a bit slower, not so quick. So like a second delay between each command. So I run an example command. First of all, scaled up, nest, add warp stabilizer, label.
Wow.
So
how
this
cool
what
is
happens
that?
right here? And if I want to do this with multiple clips, what I would do, I go back to the command, edit it, delete this nest clip commands, and use nest select next individual clips with those command code. However, let me think. Maybe this one may be not working correctly as I would love to, because it will lose the selection probably. But let's see how it works. I don't remember if I did a good job.
So basically,
thinking about
it's as
such
powerful
cases.
as
I'll just make.
It's basically as powerful as your ability to master the commands that are there within Premiere and arrange them in the way, right?
Yeah, it's like a constructor. You just trying to find the best way for your workflow, and how I use Excalibur myself when I do something there. I just I'm working in timeline, and whenever I find something that I'm doing repetitively, just like more than 2 times, 3, 5 times, I'm just observing the pattern and thinking, oh, I can maybe just automate it right now.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, I open search bar pretty quick, settings pretty quickly like this, right? I open it, I just go to the user command, makes changes, done, and I go back to editing, and then I can try the thing automated. So let's try these 3 clips here. I will bring in here, and once again, let's see if it's going to work the way I would love to. I don't know. Example. So each clip was nested. Oh, nice. They were all selected after that. So warp stabilizer was applied.
That's cool.
Sweet.
That's very cool.
Warp stabilizer
and then
here.
and it shows up in the nested clips.
Yeah, and it's
cool.
Exactly. So, yeah, everything's.
Let's just bring us all back in here for a minute, because there's something we talked, something which I know some of our viewers will be absolutely screaming for, and I hope we can get to this now. One of the things which you mentioned when we started talking about this, Ivan, was reverse match framing and reverse match framing across sequences.
So this is to set the stage a little bit. So for years,
yes,
those of us who use pancake editing and see string outs, basically source sequences in order to drive our edit to our master sequence, and we drag and drop or cut and paste from a sequence into our master sequence. This works really well for interviews where you have you've cut down all of the interview into just the answers, and then that becomes a new sequence that you use as a source to draw upon. And then, match framing to get back and say, oh, I like that read, but I wish I'd had the other read. And so traditionally a match frame you'd go back to the original source file itself, and you're not referencing the string out, the selects source sequence. So you've found a way to make that work now, eh? To be able to reverse match frame to a source sequence.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's it.
Now, I know a lot of our viewers, a lot of the members of the group who have been in Avid or Final Cut or Resolve all of those have certainly for Avid, the whole reverse match framing thing is huge, and it's one of the reasons why they haven't. Some of them won't have moved to Prem, because they don't have that particular function, which saves them gazillions of time. If you can show us that working, I think you will have a huge amount of interest, Ivan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Shall I bring up your desktop?
Hey, Andrew, just before we launch in, Ivan, is there some bandwidth
yes.
issue? Because you're definitely not as clear as Andrew and I on the bandwidth side. And I think that's probably the reason why it's a bit pixely on the screen share.
It's because we're prettier.
Yeah, the filters. The filters. Maybe there's something on the bandwidth side that might. If there's a quick fix to fix the bandwidth, great. If not,
there isn't. We're just going to have to go with it as it is for the moment. But let's try. I think let's have a look.
Another question for Ivan, right? Ivan, do you have anything else running in the background on your bandwidth, or is there something?
I think I'm. No, but it's not like my home internet, so it's a bit different. But I don't think I have any control over it.
Okay.
Sadly,
we might be running into the UK/European
over it.
time thing where everyone's coming home and using up all the bandwidth. So let's just see what we can do. So I'm going to bring up your screen.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's really pixely, pal.
And it's just got better now. There we go. That's got a lot better.
Okay.
Okay, I will just not
okay.
change
Reverse
much of the stuff, so it's
like a proper reverse match frame.
Okay,
a proper reverse match frame.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just let me just close some windows here. So I have this program monitor and the source monitor, which is empty right now. My main timeline is match timeline, which is loaded up in program monitor. And so just to illustrate what you just described, if I this file, oh, not this one. How does it work? I forgot how it works actually. No, sorry guys. Just
no worries.
It's F, right? It's just
F is the match frame. Yeah, F is match frame. F is double F.
So
double F will get you back to the source file itself without any in and out.
Exactly, yeah. So I use this one just right now, and it matched me to original media file, not the sequence, but the media file, right? And that's all I can get with match frame. However, regarding this is native, right? Native Premiere Pro command. If I want to work with source sequences, so I have this source sequence A. I will open it. I will do this. Here's my source sequence. And I have 3 files from there. These blue files are coming from there. What I should do for this command to work correctly in Excalibur, I should load source sequence to the source monitor. This is important because this way Excalibur knows where to look for the source sequence. It always looks through the source monitor. And now, so let me show you here. I have this. Let's go for the hand. So I go back to the active timeline, match timeline. I open Excalibur and I do reverse match frame command. Oh, I did reverse.
Wow.
Sorry, guys. I did just match frame. Yeah, I do match frame to source sequence, and just jump to. Yeah, and it's match frame right in the source sequence. You see the playhead moved correctly. I even can do this.
Can you start from the beginning?
When you do,
could you do me a favor? Start from the beginning. Get rid of everything that's on your match timeline, and add a file from your source sequence into the match timeline. Because you've already added it.
Okay.
I'd like to see it from the beginning because it's you've already, yeah, you know what I mean? Like so just
yeah. So I created this new sequence
that are in there. Yeah, perfect.
You see, I created this new sequence. It's empty, so I will bring this one here. Let me just keep existing settings. So we have this black bars here.
Copy
Not
that.
matching
Good.
the
Okay, so you've just dragged that,
and
right?
let's bring this one
Sorry.
here.
Sorry, Ivan.
And this one.
Ivan, did you drag it?
Yes, I just dragged like this. Yes, yes.
Okay. And if you
I
copy
just
and
dragged it
paste,
from
it's the same?
source monitor here, which is
It
not
does
right
the same
now.
copy and pasting.
I mean, it should work.
Okay.
Yeah, same. Because I do this native Premiere Pro way,
Yeah.
right? Nothing. I just point and then do the insert. All right.
It's hard to see because the lag on the display. That's why I had to double check. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
I did these clips. So these clips are here. This is my timeline, the main program. And now I want to match back to original sequence. So I have this hand. Let's go. Match frame to source sequence. That's the name of the command. I hit it. It appears here, right? Proper.
Wow.
Then I want this fire again, right? So that's pretty much it.
That's cool.
Another little funny thing here.
Sorry. So
same, yeah.
So Ivan, okay. So what I wanted to be able to do is get my cursor parked into the source A from a clip on match on the new timeline. So
it's already done that. You can see that the source A, it's moved the cursor in source A as well. You know, so when it's doing,
but to the source monitor, right? But does it do to the sequence itself?
Yeah. It's just moved it. It's moved both cursors. It's moved the cursor in the source sequence.
Awesome.
Yes, it does. So
awesome.
Just to make it fair, because right now I use this option when I open sequence in a timeline, right? As it doesn't match. Huh. No. Anyways, I'll just do this once again. Source A. So I'll just.
It's important to open up the source in the source monitor, though, right? Like the source sequence has to be open in the source monitor for this to work. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because the main reason for that, imagine you have 1,000 timelines in your project, and Excalibur will just choke on running through the 1,000 timelines looking for the source sequence. So this way you just kind of limit the search to the source monitor, saying, hey, all my source sequences here, just look through them and find it. So once again, here I'll actually do this with a shortcut now. Just let me remember it. This is image frame. It's Option F. Okay, so I put my playhead on this desert.
You have to select the clip.
Where are you? No, actually something broke, I think.
Oh, maybe you have to select the clip.
Wait a second.
Make the clip hot.
This is interesting. No. Oh, not the right shortcut. It's Control F. Okay, sorry. Control F, and then Control F, and yeah, in my case, right. And also fun trick. So you see this guy here, right? I can duplicate this clip in a source sequence for some reason. I don't know why, but I duplicated it. I decided to make it 2 instances of the same clip. Actually, this was proposed by I think one of the users from Facebook. It could be if you have multicams or something like that. So basically, it will be like the same clip referencing, but to different cameras. So here I find this clip, and if I will go match frame, it will, and press it once again, it will iterate. You see the playhead here, the playhead here. It will iterate over the same instance of the clip in the source monitor, in the source sequence.
Right, so it knows where it came from on the sequence itself.
So we have multiple instances of the same media. It will exactly. And then the fun trick here as well that I can do. Look at this. I'm so important once again. I should keep my main sequence, the one in the program monitor, the one I'm working in, and then I go to the source. So let's say, forget about the that I have actually Pancake anywhere. I just have source sequence loaded inside the source monitor. And I want to find the clip from this source sequence in my active timeline. And I use, for this case, reverse match frame. And it will show me the clip that is currently in the source sequence here in my main sequence, actually from the sequence itself.
Wow.
And it loads the sequence up.
So like that.
Real. What are the dangers of it not
no,
working?
because
Where does
you
it break?
to have it open.
Right, but it was open, but
sequence.
not active, right? Like it was the original sequence was active, but it opened up the source sequence for you,
it
right?
opened up the tab. It opened up the correct sequence on the timeline.
Yeah.
So both sequences are open already on the timeline, but we were working from the source timeline, and then once you hit reverse match frame, it took you back to the the actual
Right.
cut. So yeah.
Right. So Ivan, what are the snafus? What are the gotchas? Where does it break? Obviously we said that you have to have the source sequence, the string out loaded into the source monitor. That's number one. Are there any other gotchas that we have to be careful of?
Just these two. So you should be just careful that the sequence that you have in program monitor is the one that you're working with. That's all. Because if something doesn't like that, so for example, you see right now I have nothing inside source, and I will trigger this match frame, and I actually will get notification from Excalibur saying there is no item in source monitor. Or for example, if I will have just file there, and now it's say no match frame found in source sequences because there's no source sequence there. So it's just these little notifications will tell you, kind of remind you, hey, you should have this source sequence loaded. But also, fun thing here for you, you can load multiple source sequences. So I have this source A and source B.
That was my next question.
I just drag them both inside the source monitor.
Yeah.
And what I will do now, I'll show you. So this is my source A, source B, and you can see they are just
awesome.
Separated by color, right? One is blue, one is.
So that's how Avid works.
So I will bring these three clips first ones.
That is how Avid works. Yeah.
Okay, and now I brought another three clips here, right? So one from source B and one from source A. And here's a funny thing. For example, right now I have in source monitor, source B as presented to me, but actually source A is also loaded inside the source monitor. So I go in my main timeline and I try to find the clip that is in source A, in different one, not in purple, but in blue. So once again, I run this command. If I go to source A, open it myself, here's the playhead. So it's identified it correctly. Now I go back to media from source B, this guy. Find it. It's found in source monitor. I open source B sequence. The playhead is iterates over those sequences, finds the right one.
Question: did you have to click on the
gets the frame?
Ivan?
Yeah.
I saw that it loaded it into the source monitor.
Yes, yes, yes.
I didn't see if your mouse. Did you have to click? Sorry. Did you have to click on the source sequences and activate source B as well on the sequences? Did you have to, or does it automatically do it? I saw it open, but you didn't have to click on it, right?
So it will automatically activate it here in source monitor, but if the sequence, the source sequence is closed, you will need to activate it yourself manually. Just
no, I mean, did you
to find this? Which one?
Yeah,
for example,
it's
once
open.
Again, so you have.
It's open, right? It's in the source panel, the panel that has the sources. Did you have to actually activate that with your mouse afterwards, or did it automatically open it? I couldn't see whether you actually moused to make it active. I saw that it loaded into the source monitor as source B.
I think I think what Carl's asking is, could you go back in this new sequence? Can you go back to one of the source A clips and do a match frame on that, so we can see whether or not it opens
Loads
up
the
the correct
sequence
source A sequence
in the panel of the sequences? I see that it does it in the source monitor, but I didn't see whether you clicked on that to make it active in the sequence panel.
Yeah. So it does not open. So look again. I press the
Okay, so you
shortcut.
do have to activate it afterwards.
It finds the source here, but it doesn't open the sequence. It doesn't activate the sequence every time.
Right. I thought so.
Right.
I thought you had to click on that.
The playhead is already in correct place.
Right, but you have to click on it.
If I remember. Yeah, so because you have because of that you will need to. Sorry, yeah.
Okay, so the question is there a way with Excalibur of it also opening up the correct sequence on the timeline? So we've got pancake editing here. We've got source A and source B. If we do a match frame, is there a way of also coding it so it will automatically also open up the correct sequence on the timeline?
Right, and the reason why that's important specifically, the reason why it's important is because we're not using the source sequence, the source monitor to edit. We're using the sequence itself. So, it's really all about opening up the source sequence.
I
suppose there's a command that says...
If I remember, I wanted initially... So, yeah, I will show you. It's actually a very silly thing. But what I did... Sorry?
I was just going to say, I think that there's the source monitor. You can right-click and say load sequence. I think there's a little command there from the source monitor.
Exactly. So what I would do, I will just show you this match frame, right? Match frame open sequence. So what I would do, just simple user command. I will run first match frame to source sequence, and then I will add this command that's called keyboard shortcut, which will trigger keyboard shortcut, whichever I want to. And this specific shortcut is attached to, sorry, I forgot it. Let me just take a look. The name of it, source. Hey, where are you?
Wow, you must really know all of these.
Sequence in timeline. This is for source monitor.
Right. Open sequence in timeline. That's it. Yeah.
Well, I just spent time with shortcuts. So where are you? Reverse. I'll just too many stuff now.
This is such niggly stuff, reverse. But what makes our lives so much easier.
I didn't. Exactly. So reverse open, reverse match frame once again. I guess I should save it, and it's this one, right? No, this one. No, what are you? I forgot how to say. Okay, yeah, this is a shortcut. So I just create this user command which will reverse match frame and then open source sequence from the source monitor in a timeline. So it becomes your active one. And so, for example, right now I have this new timeline, right? The mail. Yeah, I think I did. Wait just a second. Reverse open. Yeah, I have it. Okay. So once again, these clips are from source B, and I just will run this command, reverse open. Oh, why reverse? Give me a second. Sorry guys. It's
all right.
It's not reverse match frame. It's just match frame. So many commands. Because I'm reversing. Okay, now this is done. Match frame to source sequence and then the keyboard shortcut. Okay, once again, here it is, and let's do this. It's called reverse open, but it's actually match open.
Yeah.
No, I killed it. What did I do? I don't know. Give me a second, and once again.
That's all good, man.
Look at that.
I know it's possible by adding a command. Basically, you just add one more command.
Open like that.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I will. It's a different command. Okay, this opens. Okay, let's keep it as a homework for me, guys.
Yeah.
I will look into this.
So that would be the one little step that keeps the repeated keyframe, repeated action. That's the perfect thing. Oh, hey, look, my camera stopped, eh?
Yeah, no idea why. So look, we're getting close to time now. I think what's evident here is this is a really powerful tool, and if people want to do a particular something, then they can drop you a line and you can help them work that out, I'm sure. But once you've actually found something you want to do, you can save it as a shortcut, and that then the initial time you spend building that shortcut then becomes part of your workflow thereafter. So you can build a series of shortcuts and away you go. So for things like this, where you're doing a match frame, open monitor, open the active sequence in the source monitor, open that in the timeline. That's also something which you can do. You just need to get the right commands. But once you've done it, it's open. So look, I want to cover off one more thing here, which is because of some communication difficulties we've had here today, it may sound like there was a bit of lag, which made it a little difficult sometimes. But this is fantastic stuff. I can tell you, this software is wonderful. And because Ivan's such a friend of the channel, we've been working with him for years anyway, doing all sorts of things. For the next, how long is it? 1 week or 2 weeks, Ivan, that you're going to do a special offer?
That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah, I think is good enough to.
2 weeks, we're going to have an offer for APPE members for a discount for them. Is that? Which
is 15% off. So if you order, what we'll do on the group and or in this chat, on the group, if you've got a code you want to give us, otherwise we'll post it up in the Facebook group. We'll pop the link up there, and if you want to buy either of these two, or these two tools specifically, but there are others as well, which are all brilliant. But if you want to buy either of these, you can use the code to get you 15% off. And I've got to tell you, you will save more money in a single day using these tools than it's cost you. You'll have it will pay for itself in a day of editing.
And when I asked Ivan, I said, "Hey man, I don't know how I want to install it. I want to work with it. I'm a bit overwhelmed with how much is going on." And Ivan was so helpful, and you've been great in the forum addressing people's questions. So if you do go with the software extension, Ivan's right there for you to help. It's awesome.
He appears regularly on the group, and the best I can tell you is that the guys in Adobe, the guys and gals in Adobe, love Excalibur and Watchtower. They love it.
So on wrapping up here, just want to say Lucid Link we couldn't be doing live broadcasts without the support of Lucid Link. They enabled us to make this happen. So Lucid Link, thank you. You guys are awesome. And we really appreciate the support. We'll do more together later on that. We're doing this every Thursday, 10 a.m.
And next week we've got another someone else that I think you'll like to see. We'll post more about that on the group. So listen, thank you for watching. Sorry if the communication thing and the delays made it a little shambolic in places. But listen, this is really good stuff. Ivan, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. Cheers.
And now we're going to end. So bye, everyone.
Bye. Say goodbye. Bye.
Let's go with free, right?